Wait, so can I ask how your spine injury happened?
Yeah.
With this again, if it's like personal, you don't want to talk about
hmm
it. Totally fine not talking about it, but just thought I'd.
it's fine.
Okay.
So, to make a very long story short,
Mm-hmm.
what it was we would do these very grueling, enduring ruck marches. And a ruck march is essentially where you put on all your gear, all
Mm.
the armor, and you have your weapon and all the ammunition. And all you do is it's like a long hike. You just go hiking.
Yeah.
And for some reason, my unit thought
Mm.
it would be hilarious if the smallest guy, so I'm 5'6",
Uh-huh.
I'm not the tallest dude.
Uh-huh.
I don't think I'm the shortest either,
Uh-huh.
but in the military, I'm telling you, everyone was huge.
Uh,
They were like 6'3", 6'6", six
yeah.
seven. My roommate, he was a Russian guy,
Mm.
and I'm telling you, man, he was like 6'5". He was ripped. He was huge. He used to be a Coke model before he joined the
Oh
military.
wow.
Yeah, so he was just gigantic,
Uh.
amazing guy. One of my drill sergeants, he was like 6'8", and I remember one of the first days we were there, he was yelling at us and telling us, according to the military standards, he's like 50 pounds overweight.
Mm.
And then he like lifted up his shirt. There was a ripping like six pack, right? I mean, it was insane how big this guy was. And he's like, "Do I look fat to y'all?" And of course we're like, "No, Drill Sergeant, we're so sorry. Why are you yelling at us? Why are you showing us your ripping abs?" And his name was Drill Sergeant Night, like darkest night.
Oh.
And he was that guy. And he walked around everywhere, and he carried a huge bamboo stick for some reason. It was super intimidating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know how we got here, but all that to say, everyone was huge.
Yeah.
The injury, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they thought it would be really hilarious to give the smallest guy like the biggest weapon. And so I carried what's called the M249.
Okay.
And they call it the SAW, SAW, and it stands for Squad Automatic Weapon. And it's one of those weapons that's so heavy that it comes with its own bipod that's tucked in. And when you carry it and you get to the ground, you extend the bipod, put on the ground so that it balances, and you put the hilt of the weapon on your shoulder, and you do this.
Wow.
While the bipod is like supporting the front. And it's a weapon that you need
Like a machine
someone
gun.
next to you. Yeah. You need someone next to you who's holding the ammo so that it goes like,
Yeah.
So it's actually like a two-person, like a support weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a huge machine gun everywhere I went.
Right.
And over time, I think it just started wearing away at like the cartilage and at my discs and stuff. And you see, when I first got the injury, I complained about it. I told them, hey, something's not right. My back's locking up and I'm unable to move. And they thought that I was just trying to get out of work. They thought that I was lying.
Yeah.
And so over time, it got to the point where I actually wasn't able to walk. And I mean, it was really bad. I was taking showers on all fours. And that's something that's, as a human being, that's something that it's just very undignified.
Yeah.
And I remember being in the midst of that kind of environment, being required to do so much physically strenuous things, but also my leaders don't believe me. And it wasn't until I met the right doctor who gave me the diagnosis. I mean, my medical file is so thick.
Wow.
And I went to the hospital many times trying to get something. The providers would change, and then I would have to start over, with the different doctors that would come in, things like that. And I finally met with a doctor who was a Christian, and he checked all these things out, and he saw that I was not lying.
Yeah.
And he got the right paperwork filed, and then my unit was like, "Oh, I guess you weren't lying."
Oh my gosh.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the story of how that happened.
Wow. So after that injury, so that was I'm assuming at like the 3-year mark.
Yes.
And so
around the 2.5 mark.
I see. And so they said, "Wow, you're too injured. You go home," pretty much.
it was yeah, it was, thank you for your service. Sorry. and then yeah, it's transitioning out to go back into civilian life.
Wow.
And so right after that, I got on a plane, came back home, and when I came home, I kid you not, I slept for like 3 months. I don't think I was awake I just got up to eat, and then I went to bed, and it kind of, it frustrated my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
And
you're finally back, but you're not even.
Yeah. And I was just sleeping all the time.